During a trip to a cabin, a group of teens discover a mysterious videotape. Just 1 week after watching it, all 4 of them passed on in mysterious ways. This is what really happened. We start the story off with Katie, one of the victims. She's seen having a sleepover with her friend Becca when the topic of the tape comes up. Katie is stricken with fear as Becca speaks.
I heard that after 7 days you died.
I've watched it.
Suddenly, she begins to choke and keels over. But she's just doing a little trolling. The topic switches to what exactly Katie was up to last week. Turns out, she had a little excursion with her boyfriend in a cabin. Becca teases her for her promiscuous ways before. Fear once again plasters Katie's face as Becca says, "There really is a tape, isn't there?" The pair get up and make their way towards the phone. Becca answers and becomes still, though it was merely her turn for trolling. "Hey mom, how are you? Where do you keep your Xanax?" Anyway, after the call is wrapped up. That's strange. Katie turns it off, and predictably, it turns back on. Spooky. She calls out for Becca, but gets no response. Katie heads up the stairs to check on her and finds water leaking out the door. Upon entering the room, we cut to this very eerie child, Aiden, before meeting his mother, Rachel. She speaks with his teacher over his withdrawn behavior.
Listen, Miss Teacher Lady, his cousin just died 3 days ago. Chill.
Then, the teacher shows Rachel some concerning drawings. Okay, what's the big deal? That's Katie.
Aiden drew these last week.
Okay, I just got goosebumps. Back at home, Rachel tucks in Aiden before he says something sus.
We don't have enough time.
What?
Katie told me she didn't have enough time either.
Why are you so creepy?
Good night, Rachel.
Even calls his mom by her first name. That's illegal. In the morning, Katie desperately searches for a dress before finding her little man dripped out.
I picked out your dress for you, Rachel. Let us proceed.
The pair head to Katie's memorial where we find her grieving mother. Please, just look into it. It's your job to ask questions, isn't it? Indeed, Katie is a reporter.
The doctors couldn't tell me what happened to my daughter. I saw her face.
Anyway, Rachel heads outside for a breather when she runs into Katie's friends. She overhears them gossiping and injects herself into the conversation. One of the girls lets slip that Katie had a boyfriend. Then, this guy drops the real truth bomb.
It's because of the tape that they died.
They? Yeah, her boyfriend is gone too, on the same night as her. Meanwhile inside, Aiden, who I'm convinced is computer generated to maximize creepiness, he's drawn towards the stairs. He goes up and enters Katie's room while Rachel wonders where he went.
Aiden, could you be normal just this once? No, I don't think I will.
Aiden dismisses himself while his mother's left in shambles. Nonetheless, she decides to snoop around the room for clues. Whatever this is creepy. Then, Rachel manages to find a receipt for photo processing. She goes ahead and picks up those photos, and upon inspection, we learn that they're cursed. Either that, or it's a Snapchat filter. Later at work.
You're fired.
No, I'm not.
Apparently, this works. With her bothersome boss gone, Rachel continues her investigation. She learns that all of Katie's friends in that photo died on the same night at the same time. Fortunately, one of the photos reveals the location, Shelter Mountain Inn. Rachel pays a visit and is immediately greeted by a magician.
Take a card.
His awkward attempt at flirting goes unrewarded and he doesn't even get the card right. Come on, man. Anyway, Rachel learns that the rebellious teens booked to stay at Cabin 12. Wait, why not 13? It's a cursed number after all. Hell of a missed opportunity. Just before booking your stay, Rachel notices a collection of VHS tapes. Now, many of you may now recognize as ancient technology, and I feel old now. Rachel proceeds to the cabin with the tape in hand as the sun sets on a lone tree with red leaves. She inserts the tape while the filtered rays of the sun fill the room with a fiery glow. The tape plays, blasting our retinas with haunting imagery. Wait, what? The film is filled with abstract imagery, terrifying shots, and, The tape ends, and suddenly, Rachel answers the phone with bated breath.
7 days.
She returns home and contemplates her impending doom before meeting with a friend, Noah. He's something of a photo and video expert. She shows him the cursed photo from the cabin, and apparently, great minds think alike. Isn't this like a Snapchat thing?
Noah, it's 2002. That ain't even been invented yet.
Oh, yeah. Rachel has him take a picture of her, and it comes out with the same distortion. Seems to be a side effect of getting cursed. Wasn't there a tape you wanted to show me? Curiosity overcomes him, and Rachel proceeds to knowingly kill this man by allowing him to watch it. After about a minute, he returns from his viewing sesh unimpressed, and then... Oh no. Though, this does give Rachel the opportunity to show him it's real. An opportunity she promptly rejects. Okay, they chat some more about the tape with Noah insisting it didn't scare him. Rachel, I'm an alpha male. Look at my jawline. Before he leaves, she convinces him to help her track down the tape's origin. Alright, make me a copy and I'll see what I can do. Rachel heads back to her work to do just that. As the video is being copied, the machine bugs out, and so does this bug. She inspects the fly closely as it appears to move even though the footage is paused. Afterwards, she heads to Noah's place, which features an unnecessarily creepy elevator. Upon reviewing the tape, the pair notice something odd. It seems there's a hidden piece of the video in between one of the frames. They both fight over the video control and...
ridiculous.
end up breaking it. Though, the visit would have been cut short anyway as Noah's assistant arrives. Rachel storms out and Noah follows. They bicker like a couple, and turns out they were one. Just outside, Rachel spots a ladder. Spooky. She departs, and we cut to a mental facility where we catch up with Becca. She's being escorted to a room to meet with a visitor. Hello, Becca. What can you tell me about what happened with Katie? You'll know soon enough. Rachel is taken aback, but the worst is yet to come. Becca takes her hand and extends a few fingers.
4 days.
Creepy. Undeterred, Rachel continues her search for the truth. She takes the tape to a state-of-the-art video restoration place. Okay, I'd prefer to watch this alone, so I'll take it from here.
Really?
With the nosy lady gone, Rachel proceeds to fiddle around with the machine's knobs. She prints out a few screenshots before tackling the challenge of the hidden tape. The machine struggles to keep up, but she perseveres. Huh, it's a lighthouse. Interesting. Before she concludes, the fly on the tape catches her attention once more. This time, it's definitely moving. She reaches out and literally picks it right out of the screen. The nosy lady from earlier returns and notes Rachel's bleeding nose as the fly buzzes off. Finally armed with a clue, Rachel visits a library. We learn that the lighthouse is situated on Moesco Island. A bit more digging leads her to a familiar face, Anna Morgan, a resident of the island and an accomplished horse breeder.
Oh my god.
Rachel stumbles upon a shocking revelation. One day, all the horses started dying. They'd run into the ocean and drown themselves. Not long after, Anna was admitted to a psych ward as a result of hallucinations. The unfortunate tale of one Anna Morgan ends with a dive. Once she welcomed the waters as her final resting place, the horses went back to normal. While Rachel wraps up in the library, we check in with Noah.
You're gonna die.
I mean, yeah, we'll all die one day. Oh shit, I'm cursed. Back to Rachel, she heads home and phones her mom. Could you look over Aiden for a day or two? I have a spirit to exercise. Sadly, the spirit doesn't take too kindly to those words.
Sorry.
Rachel begins to cough and then a strand of hair emerges from her mouth. She carefully pulls it out and finds that it's attached to an electrode. Fearing for Aiden's safety, she rushes to his room, but instead finds a girl with long black hair sitting down. Rachel slowly inches her way towards the girl before... Phew, it was just a dream. Oh shit, never mind. She gets up to check on Aiden, and upon entering his room, the cursed tape can be seen playing. A figure climbs out of the well. No! Soon after, Noah calls and a devastated Rachel shares the news. He watched the video. Who?
Our son.
Babe, he'll be fine. I don't think that kid has a soul to begin with. That's why I left for milk 10 years ago. Now a believer in the curse, Noah meets up with Rachel. They drop off Aiden before making their way towards Moesco Island. Alright, I'ma head into the island and you go snoop around at the hospital. Rachel arrives at the ferry while Noah departs to investigate the hospital Anna attended. While on the ferry, she reviews her documents and finds mention of a
Daughter.
Interesting. During the ride to the island, Rachel befriends a horsey. Hey, big guy. Uh-oh. A little horsing around ensues and the creature breaks free.
Daddy, my horse.
Wranglers try to snatch him up to no avail. The horse proceeds to charge straight towards Rachel, but in that moment, decides to take a swim.
No!
Anyway, Rachel makes it to the island and runs into a familiar window. She finds a man, the one and only Richard Morgan. They enter his house to chat, but Rachel is struck by the sight of the mirror. Spooky.
I came here to ask about this tape.
Richard's demeanor changes. Is that the only one? He says, while gripping a weapon.
No, I made a copy.
That's illegal. Get off my property. As a last resort, Rachel mentions his daughter, but this only further enrages him.
I don't have a daughter.
Outside, she consults a drawing Aiden left her and realizes it's of the house. Meanwhile, Noah makes it to the hospital, but you can't exactly just walk in there. Trust me, I've been upstairs to the record room already.
The record rooms are downstairs, guy.
Thanks, dummy. Noah breaks in and locates Anna's file. Looks like she tried and failed to conceive 66 times. He also finds mention of some video sessions that were deleted at the request of the father. We cut to Rachel on the phone with Aiden. Why did you draw this?
She made me.
Who?
Little girl.
On the bright side, Aiden's made his first friend.
Where is she now, sweetie?
She lives in a dark place now.
Seeking more answers, Rachel consults the island's only doctor. The woman reveals that the Morgans were never able to have a child of their own. Nonetheless, they returned to the island one summer with a girl named Samara. Following her arrival, all kinds of terrible happenings afflicted the island. She was later sent off to a mental facility on the mainland, just like her mother. Back to Noah, he gets some help from this clerk to locate the famous tape. Obviously, it's gone, but the last person to watch it is Richard Morgan. Oh no. Back at Richard's house, Rachel pays another visit and finds the door open. She sneaks in and finds some conveniently placed clues. Just under some electrodes, which she recalls taste terrible, lies Samara's medical records. And the cherry on top? A videotape just begging to be played. Rachel obliges. We proceed with a time-lapse of Samara. She can be seen standing, waiting, staring while countless hours pass. She never sleeps. Then, we see her getting interrogated.
You don't want to hurt anyone.
But I do, and I'm sorry.
Meanwhile, Chonky Daddy looms just behind Rachel. Just as the tape ends, Richard picks up the TV, heads upstairs, and Rachel follows. For whatever reason, he decides to watch TV in the bathtub.
No.
Naturally, the equipment blows up and Rachel stumbles backwards. Fortunately, her knight in shining armor is there to catch her. Wait, how'd you get here? Turns out he rushed over after the hospital revelation. Not knowing what to do next, Rachel once again consults Aiden's drawing while his voice plays in her mind. The horses keep her up at night. The pair inspect the barn and find a ladder. They climb up and enter a child's room. Looks like Richard kept her here after blaming her for his wife's declining sanity. Then, no one notices something just behind the walls. After tearing it away, the pair find a tree engraved into the wood. I know that tree. Yeah, from the video. No, I've been there. We cut to them arriving to the now closed Shelter Mountain Inn. They enter the cabin and Rachel exclaims that she's right back where she started, and she's out of time. Today is the 7th day. An enraged Noah thrashes around, knocking things over. Fortunately, Samara feels bad and reveals another clue. Wonder what's under there. A few choppy chops later and we find a well. The well. Noah opens it up, and while the pair inspect, some demonic shit is happening just above. Water leaks, screws unscrew, and... Is it just me, or is this thing way bigger below than it is above? It's a whole ass swimming pool down here. Rachel looks around and notices torn off fingernails embedded in the walls. Meanwhile, Noah runs off for help as the well closes shut. Oh, this should work. Okay, this is officially a comedy. Wait. Never mind. Rachel is swept away into a vision. Samara can be seen just over the well as her mother approaches from behind. Hey Samara, check out this mask. And down the well you go. What the heck, Mom? Back in the present, Rachel's marks fade away and she uncovers Samara. As she holds her perfectly preserved body, Noah calls out from above. The sunset passed, you survived. As he shouts those words down, Samara decays and Rachel leaves her to rest. After being rescued, Rachel reflects on Samara's inner goodness.
She just wanted to be heard.
I guess the cursed videotape is one way to do it. Samara's body is removed from the well as she will be properly buried. After that, everything seemingly returns back to normal. Noah and Rachel are even a couple again. The next morning, Aiden asks about what happened. Oh, we freed her. What? You weren't supposed to do that, Mommy. Bruh. Meanwhile, Noah's living his best life when... Oh no. Samara emerges from the well and marches towards the camera. No, please stop. Rachel races to his house while desperately trying to call him. Though, he's frozen in fear. All he can do is cower in fear as Samara closes in. There's actually a much better way to handle this. Let me show you.
Get up, you little ugly bitch.
Unfortunately, Noah isn't built different, so he succumbs to Samara's Sigma stare. Rachel arrives soon after, and we see that Samara was polite enough to place Noah back on his chair. Thank you, Samara. Very cool. Rachel returns home, burns the tape, then realizes the reason she survived and he didn't was because she made a copy. The film ends with Rachel helping Aiden make his own. I wonder if Samara has since overcome advances in technology. Was there a cursed DVD? A cursed Blu-ray? Perhaps now, there's a cursed YouTube video. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and sorry if the last one sucked. In life, you win, and sometimes you learn.